Hi guys, welcome to another sketchbook tour. This tour is a specific tour to Inktober. I did it! My first ever Inktober, and I'm pretty happy with myself. So let's get started. Here is the first one. Inktober Day 1's theme was fast, so I went with fast food and did a little pizza. This was done with Copic markers and some pencil crayons, and I think like the odd bit of gel pen, and then the ink was a Pentel pocket brush pen. The next one is Noisy, and I did a little BMO boombox. Same materials as the last one. You'll notice that I go through kind of material themes in this month, and over every few days I change it up and I try something new. So this is actually day 3. I kind of zigzag back and forth in the book, but day 3 was collect. So I did a collection of really kitschy statuettes, and I'm pretty happy with it. I like how it came out. I like the deer and the fox especially. This bird kind of looks like a creepy old man, but he kind of did in the statue to begin with, so I don't really know what to tell you. And then we go back to this page, and this is Hunger, which is day 4. It's actually Hungry, but I did Hunger. So I did some Harry Potter themed cookbooks, Charm Your Chicken, 1001 Ways to Cook Doxy Eggs. Pretty sure Doxy Eggs are poisonous, but it might be like a fancy, one of those weird fancy poisonous food cookbook things. Transfiguring Tonight, a cookbook, how to transfigure your dinner. And then I did Gilderoy Lockhart wrote a book called Cook Like a House Elf. And I made it purple, or lilac, which is his favorite color, and I figured he would probably do something slightly politically incorrect, so that's just what I went with for this one. On to the next one. Day 5 was Sad. So I did these wilted flowers around some text. The next few themes are kind of, they're not happy ones, and somebody commented on my Instagram feed. She said, "Well, if your stuff's really negative lately, are you going through a phase?" No, it's just Inktober. So here's Sad. And then we've got Hidden, which is not overtly negative, but the way I chose to do it was a bit spooky, I guess. And Lost. So yeah, I can see why this one would make her think that I'm in a bit of a phase, because normally my work is very brightly colored. I really like this one. I like the textures that I got in here. This is done with Dr. P.H. Martin's ink and also the Pentel pocket brush, and then gouache in the background. Next one is Rock, and I did Mineral, or, well, Amethyst is a gemstone. And I put a little quote from Hank from Breaking Bad. This one I did with gouache underneath, then some India ink and the Pentel pocket brush, and some gel pens. The little bright pops of color are some gel pens. Number 9 was Broken. This is maybe one of my least favorites of the month, to be honest. I mean, I think it's cool, but I just don't think it is enough. But there's Broken. So for number 10, we switch over to a different sketchbook. We switch into my portraiture sketchbook. Number 10 is Jump. I like this one. It was kind of a wishful thinking self-portrait. If I was that tall and skinny and had pretty pink hair like that and pretty sweet fruity shirt like that. Day 11 was Transport. I was still feeling the Harry Potter theme, so I did kind of a wizard transporting a note, I guess, with his owl. It's a bit of a loose definition, but I really wanted to work in the theme of wizard. The face bugs me on this one. Number 12 was Worried. This one is a little witch, and she's brewing up a draft of worry potion to make somebody worried. So it's kind of sinister, I guess. And she's using snake fangs and beetle eyes and stuff like that. She's got some cookbooks and supplies there. I like this one. Took me a while. I did layers, so it's mostly Copic markers, and then a bit of gouache, and then a bit of pencil crayon, and some gel pen, and then ink, of course. And that's it for this sketchbook. Now we go back to the old sketchbook, and it's day 13, Scared. I like this one a lot. I chose to go typography because I didn't really want to draw a scared person or something. So I used India ink for the letters, and then I just sort of worked some gouache in and then added some drippy bits. I like how it came out. Day 14, tree. It's pretty straightforward, it's a tree. 15 is relax. This one I just sort of started doodling freehand without really any plan. I used the Pentel pocket brush, and I like how it gives you those sort of tapered lines. I think I use a different pen for some of these, but I think they're all by Pentel. They do a couple brush pens and a couple drawing pens that are really cool. 16 is wet. See, I did this on the 15th. I was trying to get ahead of myself. Nothing really to say about this one. It's wet. It's paint. It's ink. Yeah. 17 is battle. 18 is escape, and this is one of my favorites. I've got a video on it, so you can see the process. 19 is flight, and I was trying to do kind of that galaxy thing in the background. I think her foot kind of looks like it's cut off, but I was going from a picture and that's sort of how it looked, but obviously there's something I didn't really quite communicate well with that, but oh well. I like the background. Number 20 is squeeze, and I've talked about this one, how it's squeezing, maybe? This one was the one where I struggled the most with the inspiration, but I like what I came up with in the end, even if it is very, very abstract. And this is the last page in this sketchbook. This is 21, big. And this is where I entered the phase that I kind of stayed in for the rest of the month, and it was a phase very, very heavily inspired by the Instagrammer and the illustrator Muxie. I will link her profile below. She's a very talented illustrator, and I am taking very heavy inspiration from her. I do want to say that I'm trying to learn from her, I'm trying to develop my style, so I am being very imitative of what she's doing, and my work could be a bit more original than it is, but for right now I'm just trying to learn, and I'm using the Inktober challenge as a learning challenge. So that's why it's not quite perfected into my own style. It does look very imitative. And here are the last ones in my big 9x12 sketchbook. Just started it. This is day 22, little. I've written it here. It's just another variation of a world with lots of little things, little people. Again, very inspired by Muxie, and the only reason that I'm doing it and that I'm showing it is because it's for Inktober, and Inktober is specifically for practicing in my mind. It's not for making finished pieces, even though I did put rather a lot of effort into some of these. This one in particular took a while. It's still just practice, it's sketchbook work, so I don't view it as a finished piece for that purpose. So, grain of salt aside, let's move on to day 23. This is slow, so I decided to do a funny little racetrack with lots and lots of signs and strange speeding vehicles. I like the hot dog. Day 24 is 1 dozen. You'll notice on the dates, this is the 25th. I was running a bit behind for some of these, but I did finish Inktober on time, so that's what counts. So I did a dozen little houses. School bus counts as a house. This is a hammock. It's where somebody lives, I've decided, so I had fun doing this one, inventing little houses and things that people might live in. Day 25 is tired. Sleep when you're tired. I always hear people saying sleep when you're dead, and I am 100% not that kind of person. I am always wanting to take naps, so sleep when you're tired is kind of my motto instead. And I did little, kind of like space with like the night sky and ghosts for Halloween-y feel, I guess. The next day is day 26 and it's box. So I thought of doing box trolls because I watched that recently, so these are just my little variations on what a box troll might look like. It's not my favorite, it's not particularly inspired. I think I have trouble with some of the color choices I made. And day 27 is creepy. This one is another one of my least favorites, but you know, again, it's practice, so I wasn't expecting to make perfect pieces every day of the month. Just some skeletons having a little conversation about being creepy. This is Burn, day 28. It's one of my favorites. I have a video on it. You can check that out. I had a lot of fun painting this one. In case you didn't get the reference, these are supposed to be pieces of fire that are burning everything else. It's pretty loose, pretty abstract, but I went with it. Day 29, surprise! This was a collaborative piece that I did with my husband. I'll tag his Instagram and Twitter below. He did all the drawing and I did all the painting and then the inking. I really like how these letters came out. He did a good job with those. And day 30 is wreck. So I came up with a giant pineapple wrecking a little house and two little guys encouraging him. My only problem with this one is, why is he wrecking this person's house? But then I decided to give an evil eyebrow to make it an evil house. That is literally all I have. Otherwise, it's a random piece with a giant pineapple and hammer. Yeah! And 31 is friends. So I decided to do some costumed little friends having kind of like a hangout chat on the 3 floating islands. This guy's dressed up as a skeleton. This girl's a little unicorn. And there is a pumpkin with arms and legs. Yep. So that is all of Inktober. Thank you guys for watching. Comment below if you have some really cool Inktober posts you'd like me to check out on your Instagram. Hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!